Yo, 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 what's good, Panther Nation? Welcome back to Two Fans in the Stands. You
Yeah,
already know who it is. It is I.
go
I
ahead
don't need
with
to
it.
say no names.
Come on, couch snout.
Yeah, your favorite couch scout extraordinaire. And he is your favorite armchair GM, CJ. What's happening today, cuz? What's going on?
Hey man, look at here. You can't introduce yourself. You gotta let me introduce myself. Okay.
Oh, Lord, here
So
we go. My,
I
my bad,
I am
my
your
bad,
favorite
sir.
armchair GM CJ. How y'all doing, everybody? That's not in here yet, but
Oh,
we'll be in
my
here soon.
God. Well, look, thank you for tuning in to Two Fans in the Stands again. I know it's been a couple Saturdays we've been away, but we've been
hmm
working on some things, trying to get prepared for this upcoming season. Training camp is just a few days away. We're excited about it. Hope you guys are excited about it. And we're just gonna talk about a few things today. We got quite a few things on the agenda, so we're gonna discuss them and and see what it's all about. So CJ, what's up with your day? What's up with your cuz? How you feeling today?
Hey man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. We are a couple days away from training camp, Panther football. Not back in full effect, but kind of about halfway. I give it halfway
Right.
and 3/4, somewhere in between that. But we get to see what's going on with the team. We get to see them in pads. You know, get to see them hit each other. Then we got the Jets coming into town in a couple weeks. They'll be on what is it, HBO's Hard Knocks. So
Yeah.
that'll
Yeah.
be interesting. It'll be a good. I think it'll be a good test for our, you know, young quarterback going up against a pretty decent Jets defense. So it'll
Right.
be a good test against our wide receivers. You got good old Sauce Gardner back then in the secondary for the Jets. So we'll see.
Right. Right.
We'll see. But
So,
I think it's
well,
gonna be interesting.
yeah, me too. I think it's going to bring. So, like you said, Hard Knocks. The Jets are part of are doing Hard Knocks this year. Sorry, excuse me. And I just think that's going to bring extra eyeballs to the Panthers when they do come to Spartanburg for the joint practices. So all eyes going
Mhm.
to be on Aaron Rodgers, and I'm pretty sure they're going to try to be some type of comparisons. They always do. Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers, versus Bryce Young, yada yada yada. So I just hope that. Well, I'm pretty sure that the Panthers, the team, they're gonna stay pretty even keel. They're gonna let the media and all the pundits have their fun and run with it and do what they do. But I think they're gonna stay focused on the task at hand, and that's getting ready for Week 1 against Atlanta. What you think?
Hey, I'm right there with you. I just want to say what's up to the NFL kid. He said, "Yo, yo, yo, how you doing? Thank
Yo,
you for
yo,
joining
yo,
us
what's
today."
up?
But
Yeah,
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 I'm right there with you, man. It's going to be interesting. It was a lot building up to the draft, um, because we all knew we needed a quarterback. Then it got even more interesting when we traded and got the number one pick. Then
right, right.
hold on, he said my phone is at 1%. I'm gonna charge to be back in for 5. Hey, all right, we'll be here, man. Appreciate you.
All right.
But and then like I said, it got more interesting when we got the number one pick. Then it was okay, well, who should we pick? And everybody had their different opinions. A lot of people thought we should take CJ Stroud, and that's kind of where
Right,
me and you were at. A lot of people were for Bryce Young. A lot of people thought we should take Will Levis, Anthony Richardson. So it was a lot. Then the draft, and it was kind of like a okay, well, here we go. We had free agency, then we had the draft, and we've been kind of in a holding pattern for a while.
right,
And
right,
with OTAs kind of bunched in the middle, hasn't really been a whole lot going on. But I think that's about to change, especially with camp starting. So it'll be a lot more for everybody to talk about. a lot for Panther Nation to get excited about, and that's what I'm hoping for. You know,
Yeah, I
I'm
agree
just
with you on
hoping
that
that
one.
we see some things that we want to see, we've been hoping to see, and things that will lead our team to you know better
The
heights than we've
promised
been at before.
land.
Yeah, I mean, we've been in the bottom of the valley for a few years. So, if I can see signs that we're just starting to climb out, I think I'll be more than happy with that. For right now, not the end goal,
Yeah.
but we know to get to the top, you at the bottom, you got to climb up. So, hey,
Yes, sir. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Well, look, you got
we
any
step on some
announcements
division route.
in,
Um,
any
I'm sorry.
announcement in the business that we need to handle before we get started?
Well, I do have our usual bit of business. If you haven't already, and you're watching this, please hit that like button, subscribe, turn those post notifications so you know when our videos come out. Also, we are now able, if everybody look in the chat, if you want to send us a super chat, that is now capability that we have now. We're part of the YouTube partner program. So if anybody's out there listening, if you want to send us a super chat, we greatly appreciate it. And also, I want to let everybody know that we will be at training camp on Wednesday. Okay, two
Yes,
fans
sir.
in the stands. My big headed cousin here, he'll be coming into town. I'm gonna pick him up. We're gonna ride him down to Spartanburg. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
So
Yes,
we
sir.
will be there. We'll be trying to, just interact with the fans. If you're there and you see us, hey, come talk to us. If you want to get on camera, ask you a few questions, just have a good time. Just go out and support our Panthers.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Well, with that being said, let's get started. So the first item up for discussion is today, I'm sorry,
Hmm.
is Bryce Young signing his rookie contract. All right. So let's bring that up real quick.
Hold on,
And
I just want to say it's funny because we were talking about this on the show, and I promise you, as soon as we got off the phone with each other, it was like breaking news. Bryce Young already
yeah,
signed his contract,
yeah.
which I
Yeah, I had
thought
to
was
go back and
wild.
redo my notes. I was
That
like,
that
ain't
to
this
me was
some?
wild. Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it real quick.
All right.
All right, there you go, Tony.
So as you can see, Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers quarterback out of Alabama, first overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, just signed his 4-year, $37.9 million rookie contract, fully guaranteed. His signing
Mhm.
bonus was 24.6 million. His 2023 cap hit will be 6.9 million. And of course, you got the 2027 fifth-year option. And the word on the street is, there was a little slight hiccup as far as him signing, and it was due to how much of the signing bonus was going to be paid up front. So yesterday I was of the mindset, I was like, well, I wonder who's going to give ground in that situation. So like CJ said,
Carolina.
15, 20 minutes after we got the phone, discussing this, he signed. So
Mhm.
I'm
Yep,
glad
sure
that
did.
we got, yeah, I'm glad that we got all five of our 2023 draft picks signed and ready. I think they reported to camp this morning in Spartanburg. So we got everybody
Yep.
signed and ready to go. The vets will be here Tuesday, I
Tuesday.
believe. Yeah, and the
Mhm.
first practice will begin Wednesday. So right now, all systems are a go. So CJ, I'm gonna ask you.
Okay, I think hold on. Yep. I think you hit the wrong button. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So how much of the signing bonus do you think he got up front? Do you think he got the full signing bonus or 80%, 75%? Like how much you think he got up front? Cause now keep in mind now his total contract is fully guaranteed. So I don't
Mm,
think he's not hurting for any type of money. But I think the sticking point was that signing bonus, and I want to say I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they probably had to give all that signing bonus up front. What you think?
according to I think it was Ian Rappaport when I saw it, he got his whole 26 or 24 million. He got it all up front. He'll probably get it in a few days.
Oh, okay,
Mhm.
all
They
right. Well, shoot.
it was because that was something I read that wasn't really a big, not really a thing until recently because signing bonuses, they would get part of it at one point in the season, they would get another part at another point in the season. But Kyler
Right.
Murray was the last number one overall pick who had his signing bonus split, like first part of the season and maybe later on in the season. And that's like icky last year. He got part of his bonus started the season, I think part at the end. But as far as number one
Okay.
overall picks, that trend continues with Bryce Young. He got all his money up front. And I
Right.
ain't mad at the young man. You know, do your thing. I've already seen comments where people are like, "Oh, he got to prove himself first," and did hey, but you know what? He signed. That's out of the way. So I'm fine with it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think
You know,
that was the one thing holding it up.
it's funny when you hear people talk like that. He was like, where he got to prove that he deserved this and all that and this that, but and people, this is the thing that people don't understand about a rookie contract. It's a
Mhm.
rookie contract. He proved what he was worth to get drafted first overall.
Yeah.
That's it. His
Mhm.
body of work that led up to him being drafted got him the contract that he got. Now,
Yeah.
in 4 or 5 years, when it's time for that extension, in time for that big contract. So now, but between now and then, yeah, he got to prove himself for that. But just because he got all his signing bonus and total value of nearly 40 million, I mean, what
Mhm.
what is that he have to prove? He's already proved what he needed to prove to be selected first overall. So that argument, when people make comments like that, I you know
Mhm.
I kind of ignore that because it's like, okay, you don't understand. It's a rookie contract.
Yeah.
It's a rookie
But
contract for a reason.
but
So
the NFL is all about trends. You know, hell, we got a passing league now.
right,
So it's like with the contracts. It's been the thing since like I said, Kyler Murray was the last one. And I didn't see any reason why Carolina was going to try and buck this trend. I mean, you trade up to the number one pick, you trade DJ Moore. Okay, you trade a
right,
number one pick next year, the number one, a number two, second round pick in 2025. Okay, get that man his signing bonus and get him on the field so he can get out there and start proving that all that they did was worth it. You know what I mean?
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
just go ahead and get that man his money, get him out on the field.
But my thinking on that as well is they already done moved him up to number one on the depth chart. So you
Hmm.
already I mean, it was pretty much set in stone what it was going to be when they drafted him. They didn't move up that far and give up that much to say that we're going to draft the guy and hope that he starts day one. No,
Sitting
they had a
behind Andy Dalton.
plan. Right, they had a plan in session to get him prepared to be the number one quarterback starting camp. Me and you had this discussion when he got drafted, even before when they signed Andy Dalton. When they traded up to number one, we was like, okay,
Mhm.
we good with either Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. And
Yeah,
I just felt like whoever they drafted, they were going to start week one,
yeah.
of
Oh yeah,
those
of
two.
course.
Long
Hmm.
as they ain't pull no monkey out their head and try to draft Will Levis and talking about he gonna
Yeah,
start week one. Now I might have broke
we good.
something. I don't know what it might be, but I'm like, boy, look here.
be be Amos, what's good, man? How you doing?
B Amos, what's good, my boy? Yeah.
Had you all flustered. Well, look at you.
Yeah, had me all flustered. You did that during to well what if they get Will Levis? You never know. You know your favorite saying, you never know. I'm
And
like,
you know
man,
what? That might be
you
my
gonna bring
favorite
in Will
saying, but
Levis.
it's the truth. It's the honest to God truth. You never know.
Not not in that instance it wasn't.
Hey, I'm just
Not,
saying,
not
I
in that
like to call
instance.
myself armchair GM, but I am not the GM of any kind of major franchise anywhere. So their thinking and my thinking might be completely different. And they could have saw something in somebody else. Like you said, we just on YouTube talking what we see and what we feel. So, like I
Man.
said, you never know. But I'm glad that I'm damn glad that that didn't happen. So let me just go ahead and say that right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm glad
I'm not
Levis
even
is in
going.
Tennessee.
I'm not even gonna go off on a tangent on that. It is what it is, you know.
But yes,
All right.
we have our quarterback and he is signed. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So
Mhm,
let's move on to topic number two of the daily of today's discussion, and that is the
mhm,
Brian Burns potential contract extension.
mhm,
So, CJ, you know, again, we talked about this a couple days ago. After Alex Highsmith signed his contract extension with the Steelers. I think it was 4 years, $68 million. So it came out
mhm.
to roughly 22 million per year, and he got $35 million guarantees. So I
Yeah.
remember a while back when we were talking about where do we think Brian Burns fall? Is he a top 10, or will he fall into that top five, that first tier of outside linebackers? I doubt that he will get Khalil Mack or Joey Bosa,
Mhm,
that type of money. But I thought he would fall somewhere in that Harold Landry range where he got from Tennessee, and I think he was around like 22 million a year. So my question to
mhm.
you is, do you think that is do you think Alex Highsmith set um a bar, so to speak, to give the Panthers the idea of what they could possibly give to Brian Burns, or do you think it signals to him at the same time it may give him an idea of what he's worth,
Mhm.
to what he think he's worth, to what he can potentially get? How do you see that falling?
To be honest with you, I don't think the Highsmith signing is going to have that much of effect on Brian Burns. I think, because like in the article on the screen here, I think Nick Bosa from San Francisco. I think
Okay.
they're waiting for him to sign his contract, and everybody believes that his deal may be a record-setting deal. It's going to reset the market. So maybe Brian Burns is going to use that as a little bit more leverage with the Panthers. There is a deal on the table. The Panthers have offered him a deal. Okay. Who was it? Darren Gant with the Panthers said there's a deal on the table. We haven't had
Right.
any inklings of what that deal may be, how much it may be, how many years or anything. But if now, from a player's perspective, I don't think there's anything wrong with Brian Burns just kind of holding out and to see, what's what. And if the offer that the Panthers gave him, if Nick Bosa's extension comes out, he signs it, and the Panthers, he can go back to the Panthers and be like, hey, well, let's renegotiate this. Maybe not throw the whole contract away, but let's do this. Let's add this. Take this away or something. Whatever it is. So maybe that's what the situation is, and maybe that's what we're waiting on. But I don't know. I don't think Highsmith's contract is necessarily what's holding this up. Now it might be it may be kind of a rung in the ladder for them to work on. Do I think Ryan Burns deserves a contract better than Alex Highsmith? Me personally, yes. Okay.
Okay.
If you go back and look at Highsmith's stats, he had got his rookie year, I think he had like 2 sacks. His second year 6, and then he broke out with
Yeah,
like
six
14 and a
and
half last or somewhere. So he had
okay.
double digit sacks last year. You know, the one thing about Brian Burns, now Brian Burns last year, this was his first year with double digit sacks, but he had 7 his rookie, 9 his second, 9 his third, and he had what 12 and a half last year. So
Right.
one thing, he's continued to get better. He's been somewhat consistent. But now, if he does get a contract higher than Alex Highsmith, which I believe he will, now he's gonna have to go out and show and prove. So,
Okay. All
so
right.
he's definitely gonna have to go out and show you know why he feels he's deserving of whatever contract they give him.
All right. Let me ask you more of a direct question. If you were
Mhm,
Scott Fitterer and you just saw the contract that Alex Highsmith got from Pittsburgh,
mhm.
what would you be more inclined to offer Brian Burns? What would you think would be a fair a a fair value, to offer him as far as contract wise?
All right, well, let's take a peek at Alex Highsmith contract. And I got this from Over the Cap, and I don't think that this is fully mapped out as of yet because they got his guaranteed salary. Those next 4 years is zero. So I don't
Okay.
think that's I don't think it's fully what's the word I'm looking for? I don't think they've got it in total on here yet. But
Okay.
4 years, $68 million. He is his contract ranking is 12th among 251 edge players. Okay. So if I'm Scott Fitterer, I'm definitely giving him more than this. That's just me. You know, me talking in
Okay.
my new role as everybody's favorite armchair GM. So
Right.
I'm
Right.
definitely
Right.
giving Brian Burns more than this. And you can't really let me see. And I guess in my mind, I'm looking they're going into a new defense. He's going to be standing up, coming off the edge in that weak side linebacker spot. Now, I don't know if they really factor in uh what I guess they do factor in what he may do, but I'm thinking this too. I'm thinking he's probably going to have one hell of a year in this new defense. Like I said, I don't know if that'll go into the calculations of what they offer him or whatnot, but I yeah. This was the same guy who the Bears were trying to trade for. You know, people were
Yeah.
offering 2 first round picks for Brian Burns.
Yeah.
Okay. And
So
if the
they
Panthers ain't
saw
gonna
the
pay him,
potential as well.
yeah, if the Panthers aren't going to pay him, somebody else is going to pay him. And
Yeah.
I hate to see a situation where the Panthers don't pay somebody, then they go somewhere else, get paid, and start balling.
Don't pull another Julius Peppers, Carolina.
Thank
Don't
you.
do it. Don't
Mhm.
pull another Julius Peppers. I'm still salty about that,
Yeah.
but I
Look,
digress.
next thing you know, Brian Burns would be up in damn Buffalo, up there with the Buffalo Panthers. Yeah.
Oh man.
So
Okay.
I definitely hope that's that doesn't happen with him. But I say pay the man, and I think they can work something out this year. Um, Probably need to be little cap friendly for the Panthers, and I think our cap situation is going to be much improved next year because there's a lot of dead cap money that we're paying now that's not going to be on the books next year. I
Right.
think Christian McCaffrey's dead cap was coming
Robbie
off.
Anderson, dead cap.
Robbie Anderson, is DJ
Um,
Moore? He's gonna come off
no,
next year,
I
isn't he?
think all of DJ Moore's went with him when he got traded
Okay,
to
all right,
Chicago.
gotcha.
That's Chicago problem now.
Yeah, because I know McCaffrey's dead cap. I forgot the number, but it's up there. You know, it's a
Yeah.
good chunk of change that they could be paying somebody else. But I think the cap situation will be better if they can work something out for this year. I say go ahead and pay the man because, in my opinion, I'm just excited to see what he's going to do in this new defense, and I think that he can improve on his year that he had last year. So
Right.
you know,
Right.
and
Well,
you know, we
do
we put out a series of shorts. doing our preseason or our way too early stat predictions or projections. And
Yeah.
on my side, I put Brian Burns as having 16 sacks, and I don't think that's too far fetched. So hey,
Okay. All right. I can't. Well, I think I put like 13, 13,
mm-hmm,
13 and a
yeah,
half, something like that. Okay.
mm-hmm, yep.
So you still ain't put a number on it. So if you had to just put a number on it, what do you think his per year average would be, salary wise?
Let me see. I don't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if
23
Alex
million,
Highsmith
24 million,
it's probably gonna have
25
to be upwards
million,
of 25. It's probably gonna be 25 and up.
probably about 25 and up.
Mm-hmm. Or somewhere around there. You know. I mean, I
I was
don't
gonna say,
yeah, everybody, if y'all
50.
watching, yeah, do us a favor, hit that like button. We appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. But hit that like button even more. Hit that subscribe button. But but yeah, somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 million, you know.
Okay.
I don't see it as being too far fetched as if he were to get somewhere close to 100 million, or even if they went a little over 100 million. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I I don't want to sit here and say yes or no either way, but I like I always say, you never know. I definitely see it as a possibility. Now I've heard a lot of people, everybody has their varying opinions on Brian Burns. A lot of people thinks that he hasn't really done a whole lot. Um, I'm always been a proponent of put players in the right spots, the right situations to succeed. And I think he's done a good job of showcasing his talents in not necessarily the most optimal um setting. Let me say it like that. Okay.
Right. I think he has taken full advantage and has done everything that the coaches have asked of him since he got drafted. He's put on
Mm-hmm.
size, he got stronger, he developed a more, power rush to go along with the speed. I mean, you
Yes.
see the progression in his game each and every year. And that's
Mm-hmm.
that's that's what I like. That's what I love about players. It's like, do are you really all in on
Mm-hmm.
becoming a master of your craft? Are you
Yeah.
all in to giving the game everything that you got? Because when you do that, the game will give
Mm-hmm.
you everything that you deserve back.
Yeah. Just
And
look at his picture right there. Look at his picture. I mean, he came out of FSU built like a number two pencil.
yeah,
He looked like a Mario Barno out there. I mean, he's still
yeah.
paper thin. And
Hey,
I'm not saying he's bodybuilding status, but he's definitely, you could tell he's definitely put in the time,
when
in
he
the
came,
effort to try and get right.
yeah, when he came in out for Florida State, he was like 245. I know last
Mm-hmm.
year Brian Burns was right at like 260.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had that frame to where he can add that extra muscle, that extra bulk, and it didn't hinder him none. And I'm of the
Mm-hmm.
mindset to believe that Amari Barno is going to follow in his footsteps. He's going to do the same thing, or he should. Let me say that he should,
He
because he
should.
came out of Virginia Tech, 6'5", 6'6", 246 pounds, ran a 4.38 40 at the combine.
Mm-hmm.
Same
But the
exact
thing
player, but faster.
Yeah, but the thing with Barno is, and I've gone back and watched a little bit of tape on him. He's going to have to put on the size, but he's definitely got to work on his technique. He's got to work on his hand placement, and he's got to work on getting better leverage against when he's going up against the tackles. Because a lot of film I've
Yeah,
seen, tackles got their hands inside on their shoulders and just shoved them out the way. And mind you, it's not a whole lot of tape on him because he didn't play a whole lot, but you know, I think he definitely has potential. But like you
yeah.
said, he's definitely going to have to follow, in Brian Burns' footsteps.
And I think because he was just a strictly speed rush type of guy. So he was all about beat you with his speed. And
Mm-hmm.
Brian Burns was like that coming out of Florida State. he didn't really like no contact rushing off the edge. He was all
Mhm.
about ducking, juking, the
Yeah.
the tackle or whatnot, and getting to the quarterback. Now that he's added this side, more pass rushing moves, added
Mhm.
a power rush to his game. Now you see the complete picture. You know what I'm saying? Of
Mhm.
what everybody hoped he would be when we drafted him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping. The same thing happens with Amari Barno.
You see B.
So
Amos, he said he just had to stop overrunning the QB at times. He could have 15 plus sacks a year easy. Now, I
that's
will agree
facts.
with that. I will agree
That's
with that. There's
facts.
sometimes he go by the quarterback and just like shoom, and
Yeah,
the play is going the other way. So
yeah,
I definitely agree with that. But yeah,
yep,
he definitely has to
definitely.
get himself together and stay under control in certain situations.
Yep,
Yep.
you definitely right about that. He will overrun the quarterback, and then I can't. It wasn't last year. It was the year before last
Mhm.
where I thought he could have had double digit sacks, and it was like at times when he would sack the quarterback, he would square the quarterback up. Like, okay, he coming off his blind side. So
Mhm.
you got the whole backside of that quarterback. And it was like for some reason, it was like he tried to take an angle and he
Mhm.
like brushed off to the side and fell off to the side and wasn't able to secure the tackle. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, put your face mask in his back and light his ass up. That's what I
Mhm.
wanted to see. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, but like I said, last year he developed that power game. It was all about running around the tackle or whatever. He was going right through him. He was
Mhm.
going right through him. It was a beautiful thing to see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So our next topic of discussion is agree or disagree. All right. So CJ, if I say to you that Ikumi Kwano is the most important non QB on the Panthers, would you agree or disagree?
I'm not even gonna lie. Part of me wants to disagree, but when you
Right.
sit down and just look at it from a common sense, perspective, I would have to agree.
Okay.
I would definitely have to agree. He would be the most important player outside of QB. Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with that.
Okay. Well, I will agree as well, and here's why. I have four reasons as to why I believe Ike Kwano is the most important non QB on the Panthers. And number one, he plays the most important position on the field. Second most important position on the field, which is left tackle. Okay. Now you can argue and say you can make an argument and say maybe a cornerback, you know, like JC Horn, because a lot of times they're out there on the island by themselves. Or you may even can say, you know, the center. Nine times out of ten, the center is the captain of the offensive line, making the calls, making had to be able to recognize the defensive fronts and make the adjustments up front, along with the quarterback. But I think in this situation, because we have a rookie quarterback who was the number one overall pick this year, I think it's imperative that we have someone to protect his blind side. We all know Bryce Young's stature. He's small, 5'10", 195 pounds, whatever he weighing now. I'm not sure, don't know. But we all know he's small in stature,
Yeah.
and that was a concern of a lot of people coming into the draft and him coming into the league or whatnot. So having his blind side protected, that's to me that's the second most important thing as to having the franchise quarterback. Okay. And number two, like I said, he protects the blind side of the most important player on the field, which is the QB. I don't
Mhm.
know if you can put much more stock in that, than that. I think that speaks for itself. Of course, Icky had a couple. His first two games were kind of rough, but after that, he settled in and looked like a,
He
a, a
did.
veteran out there. I think we went like 6, 7 games without giving up a sack. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
think for the year he graded out as a run blocker at like 96%. So there's a lot of potential, untapped potential that young man possess, and I think he's going to be a cornerstone on that left side just as well as Taylor Moton is on the right side. And I think we
Mm-hmm.
got two very solid bookends for years to come.
Hey,
Okay.
Tony.
Yeah.
Can I interject something real quick? Now,
Go ahead.
I like to joke about this, and I like to say, Miles Garrett, made Icky find Jesus, week 1 last year. He took him to church. He
Yes, he did.
baptized his ass the first game of the
Yes, he
season,
did.
and I think that was the best thing that could have happened to him. It wasn't no false sense of, oh, he doing good, and he came out and ain't played nobody, no subpar uh ends or linebackers coming off the edge. Nah, he got the best of the best, and he took him down to the river, and they went for a dip. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sorry. Please continue. I had to just inject that. My bad.
And number three, I believe he's arguably the most important to the wide zone offense in terms of blocking. And I say that because in this new scheme, we got to mirror two schemes. We got the
Zone
oh
mesh,
my god. No, not zone man. Triangle read offense,
triangle read.
passing attack that Frank Wright is bringing with him from Indianapolis, and he's
Mm-hmm.
going to mesh that with the wide zone offense that Thomas Brown he brought with him from LA.
Mm-hmm.
And they have an athletic big tackle that can move in space, that's athletic, that's a road grader, that looks for work when he out there. He's looking to punch somebody in the mouth. I think that plays a major part when you talk about this wide zone offense. He got that movement. If you go back and look at some tape, he in
Mm-hmm.
my mind he kind of reminds me of Trent Williams of San Francisco. Trent Williams is a big boy, but he's nimble, quick on his feet. I mean, he gets out there. He be moving. You know what I mean? So whether you talking about power running game or getting outside the tackles or stretch zone or wide zone, I mean, he can do it all. And I think Icky can fall into that same category, that same class as a Trent Williams. That's
Mm-hmm.
who my comp is for him going forward, is Trent Williams. That's who he
Okay.
reminds me of. And number four, he has the potential to be a perennial Pro Bowler at his position. Like I said,
Indeed.
last year, we know he had some hiccups. He still graded out pretty decent for his first year. Come back, same offensive line coach in James
Mm-hmm.
Campen. Same continuity with the offensive line, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, definitely on that left side with him and Brady Christensen. So I think there's a lot of familiarity. They are learning
Mm-hmm.
a new offense, a new blocking scheme, but to learn it with guys that you've been in the trenches with, got some experience in the trenches with, I think that
Mm-hmm.
means a lot, and that will carry over. And I think it would help make this transition with this new offense even easier. So
Okay.
I'm definitely looking forward to him making his first Pro Bowl this year. That's
All
what I
right.
think. I think he's going to make his first Pro Bowl this year.
Okay.
So yeah,
And
that's. Go ahead.
I want hold on. I got to bring this comment up from Robert Miller, and I definitely have to pass this on to you. Since this is one of your favorite players, so you've been talking about him not non-stop here.
Yes, sir. Hey, Robert, my brother. I'm glad see great minds think alike. Okay, cause they sleeping on cornbread. And if you didn't know that, that's Deontay's nickname
That's
that
our
we gave.
nickname for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's our nickname for him, the cornbread. But let me tell you something. I don't know what's going on. I I asked a couple of times last year to some Panthers insiders. I won't mention no names, but I sent a couple tweets out specifically asking about Deontay Brown. Nobody responded back. I was like, "What's going on with Deontay Brown? Is he hurt? Is he nursing injury or what's going on?" I have not given up on him. I'm not gonna give up on him. I understand that they felt like he needed to lose some weight. I get it. But you have to remember this guy was a first team All American his last year at Alabama. If he can play at Alabama at that size, I don't know why in the hell anybody think that he can't play in the NFL at that size. Now, from my understanding, he's down to like 330, 335 pounds. So that's good 35, 40 pounds that he dropped since his rookie year. To
Mm.
me, he looks good. I just want to see him have the opportunity and chance to get out there and really do his thing. Hopefully that happens this year in preseason. Um, so yeah, that's all I gotta say about Deontay Brown, man. I just think he need to be given a chance, an opportunity to come in and show that what he that show to show what he can do. And I think he will surprise a lot of people. So yeah,
Yeah. Now I
he definitely
agree.
needs his
I
chances.
Yeah, I agree with Rob Miller. He needs a chance, but it's gonna be hard though. Let's go ahead and,
Yeah,
and keep it a buck. It's going to be
yeah,
hard for him to get those chances. They just drafted Chandler Zavala. You got K Mays, who we all like. We raved about him on here last year. He could play all five positions on the line if needed. He will probably be who takes over for Austin Corbett until he returns from his injury. So,
yeah. I
between
believe
him
that.
and
Yeah,
between him and Zavala. So I like Deontay Brown too, and I think he does deserve a chance. But will he get that chance is the big question. I think it's a big one because now he's got a whole lot of competition. So
yeah,
you know what I mean? He's got a whole
yeah.
lot of competition. And even before when he didn't have this many people necessarily in front of him, he still hasn't really played much. So, but
Yeah,
like you
this
said,
would be his third year. This would be his third year or fourth year.
I don't know. I have to go look. Yeah,
I
he
think,
is a mauler. He sure
yeah,
is.
he's a mauler for sure. For
Mm-hmm.
sure. But yeah, man, I love me some Deontay Brown, man. I understand that they didn't play him his first year. Matt Roden wanted to see him lose some weight, wanted to get in better shape. I get it. I understand that. But he's
Mm-hmm.
there now, and he's been there since last year. So now all he really needs is the opportunity to go out there and showcase what he can do. And I think once he get the opportunity, whether it's in Carolina or somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to pay real dividends for whatever team he plays for. Cause I love that dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. Now, while we on agree or disagree, now we both agreed that Icky is Carolina's let me see, the second most important position behind our quarterback. All right.
Right.
What would you put as the position right behind that? Now, just for our team and the way we're set up right now.
Behind quarterback and left tackle.
Mm-hmm. For
Oh,
our team,
yeah, for our
specifically for the
team.
Panthers. Mm-hmm.
I would say the third most important position will be cornerback.
Okay.
Because I think it's imperative for both our corners to come back healthy this year and stay healthy because
Mm-hmm.
I really have no faith until proven otherwise. I really have no faith in the backups behind J.C. Horn and
Preach.
Dante Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Would you say?
No, I was agreeing. I just said preach.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have. There's too many unanswered questions. We got two guys that we saw the past 2 years in Keith Taylor and C.J. Henderson. So you already
Mm-hmm.
know what you got in them. Behind them, you just don't know. You really just don't know. And so that's why I think the way that the team is currently constructed and who we have at each position, I think cornerback will be behind quarterback and left tackle.
All right,
What
all
you
right.
think? What you think?
You know what? I'm going to say there's going to be a tie between our outside linebackers and the defensive line. Okay, I know that's probably sound kind of
Mm,
weird, but for a secondary who has a lot of injuries, coming off of injuries, does not have good depth behind our starters, and we cannot sit here and say that we know they're going to stay healthy all year. What's the secondary's cornerback's best friend? Pressure on the
yeah,
quarterback
pressure.
coming from that
That's right.
defensive line. And I always go back to when the Giants won the Super Bowl. I don't know if it was straight hands last year or not, but that front seven was just destroying teams. You know, their safety had I'm sorry, their secondary, went out there and kind of had to just hold tight. Just kind of hold the ship down. They didn't have to do anything, out of the ordinary. They just kind of had to make sure that they didn't give up any big or dumb plays. And I'm going to kind of use that same reference here. If our outside linebackers, which is Brian Burns and whoever's opposite him, whether it be Marquise Haynes, Gross Matos, whether DJ Johnson steps up, I'm gonna say that's going to be a tie with them and the defensive line. I got high hopes for our defensive line. You got Derek
Yeah,
Brown,
me
Shy
too.
Tuttle. Um, I was looking at something
Deshaun
earlier today.
Williams,
Yeah, Deshaun Williams. We got Big Snacks McCall, as we like to call him.
Henry
Just
Anderson.
Henry
Yeah,
Anderson. But just think about that combination. If you got Brown on one side, Tuttle on the other, and you got McCall in the middle, that's not going to be a line well, I'm hoping that's not going to be a line that people want to run against, and I'm hoping it's going to be a line that people can't run against. And I
right.
think Derek Brown has enough athletic ability to be able to get to the quarterback more. So, like I said,
I agree
secondary
with that.
cornerback's best friend is pressure. So
Yeah,
if the linebackers and defensive line can do what they need to do in this new 3-4 scheme, get to the quarterback, put persistent pressure on them, batting balls down, making them uncomfortable, getting their hands up, keeping them from seeing open receivers, just stuff like that. I think that'll pay dividends for our team and especially our secondary.
man. Listen, I can't tell you how excited I am to see Derek Brown playing that 4 high, 4 low technique in
Hmm.
this 3-4 defense. When
Hmm.
he's lined up right over the guard, and you don't know if he's going B gap or C gap. You
Hmm.
don't know which way he's going to go. He can go either gap or he go through you.
Hmm.
And in that matchup as a defensive end, he's gonna get a lot of 1-on-1 matchups.
Yep.
And we if you haven't if you never seen uh Derek Brown last year tape at Auburn, just go back and do yourself a favor and watch it. Man, let me tell you
Hmm.
something. He out here disrespecting these young boys like they ain't had no business playing college football. They don't know where they found him at, but they just went out there and got somebody off the street and said, "Okay, we need you to play against Derek Brown this week." And he was like, "Okay." You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like
Yeah.
this dude, I mean, he was in the SEC destroying offensive linemen week after week after week after week, and he was
Mhm.
all over the field. I can't wait to see that Derek Brown show up for the Panthers this year. It's gonna be something. It's gonna
Yeah.
be something. Nothing short of a miracle. Let me
You
say
could go
that.
back and look at some of his tape from last year. I mean, he
Yeah,
had some flashes where opposing center was bent backwards into a letter C going towards the quarterback. Look at
man.
whoever the center is for New Orleans. If you look at that last game of the year, I forgot it was one play. I mean, he had that dude look like he was singing hallelujah and about to fall back in the pool pit somewhere. But lucky for the Saints on that play, I guess it was a quick read and they got the ball out with Andy Dalton, who's with us now, but he got the ball out to Olave. But but yeah, man, Derek Brown and everybody else that they got on that line now, and you got Burns and potentially somebody else coming from the other side.
Yeah,
It's I like the potential. I love the potential, but now we got to see it on the field and see it come to fruition. So yeah.
yeah. Derek Brown had 40 something QB. Yeah, he had a
Mm-hmm.
lot of QB hurries. Let me tell you
Yep.
something. He lived in the backfield last year. He
Mm-hmm.
lived in the backfield. I won't forget how he destroyed Atlanta's offensive line when he tackled Marcus Mariota in the backfield. Like he ran
Mm-hmm.
through the center, uh through the running back, and still tackled Mariota behind the line of scrimmage for a loss. Like the
Mm-hmm.
dude is a beast. Like I can't tell you how many times I see him stack and shed guards and centers last year, throwing them to the left or the right, like they rag dolls, and them dudes just
Mm-hmm.
getting up off the ground, looking around left or right, like where'd he go? I mean, he was out there like manhandling. I'm like, dog, these
Mm-hmm.
grown ass men, they getting paid for a living. You out here
Yeah.
messing up careers. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he was on a mission last year, man. And I just hope that this defense allows him the opportunity to build off of that and to continue
Mm-hmm.
that elevation in his game. That's what
Because
I'm excited to see when it comes to camp
didn't
out.
didn't Rule and his staff, didn't they try to get him to shed some weight?
Yeah,
Trying to get him down to a certain weight.
he dropped from 330 to like 320 one year.
Yeah.
They try to kind of like play him out of position, sort of
Mm-hmm.
speak. Got him doing everything that he didn't do when he was at Auburn. Like
Yeah.
I'm a proponent, and
Yeah, big time.
and if you draft a player, especially a first round talent in the top
Mhm.
10, 15, doesn't even matter. You
Yeah.
drafted that player for a particular reason. You
Mhm.
drafted Derek Brown because how he dominated offensive line, offensive
Yep.
lineman while he was in Auburn. Why would you want him to be anything less or different than what he is? Like
Mhm.
Steve Smith said last year, he is like we call him dump truck. You don't see no
Mhm.
dump truck going side to side. A dump truck goes forward or
And
backwards.
back.
And
Yep.
most of the time it's going forward. Let that man wreak havoc. Let him
Mhm.
you know, power gap, stack and shed, do whatever he got to do. Let him roam free. Let him go out there and eat and do what got him drafted in the first round, eighth overall. Okay,
Exactly.
and I think that's what happened last year when Steve Wilkes took over and they
Mhm.
put him in that position. They was like, "Hey, go eat."
Go eat. Yep.
He was like,
Exactly.
"Say less." You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? and
Yep.
and that's what he did. You got to take these guys and maximize their strength at the same time you're trying to build on their weakness, but you don't
Mhm.
put them in a position of weakness and hope that their strength shines through. That's
There
ass
you go.
backwards. That's not how you coach football.
Mhm.
If that's how somebody coach or evaluates talent, then I pray for them. I ain't gonna say what I was getting ready to
Yeah. I mean,
say.
but you're right.
Yeah,
I say this all the time on our channel. The coaches have to put the players in the right positions, right situations for them to succeed.
right,
And as we saw, Rule was not doing that at all. Like at
that's
all. He had a plan, but it's like his plan was still stuck in college football. His plan was
right.
still stuck in Baylor and Temple. And
That's exactly
it
what it
worked, it
was.
worked then, but it wasn't working. And it was like, well, I'm gonna make it work. Nah, bro, it's not gonna work, period. So,
Right.
but yeah. Yeah. But Tony,
Yeah, it's like
But hold
Go
on,
ahead. I'm sorry.
before we move on, I want to say we got a few more people in here. So I want to reiterate, if you haven't already, hit that like button, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notification bells. Um, if you look in the chat, we can now get super chats. If anybody is so inclined to send us a super chat, we'd be greatly appreciative of it. And also, want to remind anybody who wasn't in here before, we will be in Spartanburg for camp on Wednesday. So if you
Yes,
see us
sir.
out there, holla at us. You want to get on camera, you can't miss us. Like two Donkey Kong barrels running around down there. So
Don't do
we
that. Don't do that. don't do that.
it will be real easy to spot. So, but I just want to let everybody know we will be in Spartanburg and we will be, trying to engage with the fans and asking questions but yeah. So just want to say that for anybody who wasn't in here when we first started.
Yeah, definitely gonna be a lot of fan interactions. So hey, we're gonna be asking questions. Trying to get you on camera. We're gonna,
Mm-hmm.
mix and mingle with everybody. Like CJ said, when you see us, don't be shy. Don't be afraid. Just come and chop it up with us. So hey, we're gonna be down there
Mm-hmm.
for a week. I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
for a week, and we're also
Mm-hmm.
gonna be at Fan Fest. We'll
Yep.
also be at Fan Fest August 2nd. All
Mm-hmm.
right.
Sure will.
So when you see me Wednesday, I'll be tired as hell because I'll be getting off a plane,
A long
coming
flight.
taking a long flight to Spartanburg. So yeah, I might be tired as hell, but I'll be there. That's for
Hey, look,
sure.
all I got to say is you better not you better not be out there. I got to nudge you because you done falling asleep now. That's a family trait.
Oh
We
yeah,
all got it.
yeah. I
We
ain't
all
got it that
fall
bad
asleep
though.
anywhere.
I ain't got it that bad. Yeah,
Hey, you might
yeah.
not know you got it that bad, but I'll be
No
damn, I'm gonna get
sir.
it on camera if you do. So
Yeah, well,
it's just your
okay. Well,
warning right now.
you keep it rolling then. I got an
Hmm.
excuse. Honestly, I got an excuse. You know what I'm saying?
I might have the same
I
excuse, but I'm still gonna get you
I
for
really got an excuse.
it.
But no, I think I'm gonna be too excited. I'll be too
Hmm.
excited. First day at camp, first time in Spartanburg. There's gonna be a lot of things going on that we ain't seen before. We're not familiar with. So
Hmm.
there's gonna be too
Hey, this
much
is my
going
first
on
time going to
around
camp.
us, huh?
Hmm. I said, this is my first time going to camp.
Yeah, me too.
So it's definitely gonna
So
be a new experience for me.
exactly. So it's gonna be too much going on around us for me be up under the shade tree, knock the hell out.
Hmm. Hey, but don't
That
worry,
sleep that
everybody.
sleep gonna have to wait.
Yeah, look, don't worry, everybody. I'm gonna get some candid shots of him on the ride down there because I know you're gonna be in the passenger seat knocked out. So I got you. And
Matter of
and B
fact, I'm
Amos,
getting in
we'll
the back.
be down there we'll be down in the 31st too.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the back seat so you can focus on the road ahead of you. Don't be messing with me, man.
Hey, let me tell you, I got the little camera arm right here. I flip that bad boy sideways and take the little remote out. Hey, look, no excuses.
Yeah, it's all good. So all right, so moving right along to our last topic of discussion for today. No, it's not our last one. I'm
Second to
sorry.
last. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, second and last. So the next one is there was an article that came out. I saw it on Panthers Wire. Um I think it was early last week where they mentioned that Matt Corral is going to get the bulk of the preseason snaps. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I got the wondering, and I was like, why is that so? Are they not planning on get Andy Dalton any snaps? I mean, it's a new offense for all three quarterbacks, not just Matt
Mm-hmm.
Corral. But do you think that it's a case of we definitely don't want to get Bryce hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and we definitely don't want to get Andy Dalton hurt because
Mm-hmm.
he'll probably be just as he'll probably be just as important this first year
Yes,
as having Bryce Young.
indeed.
Or do you think it's a situation where Matt Corral got hurt last year and he really didn't get a chance to show what he can do? That like there's no tape. There's no tape of him
Mm-hmm.
really doing anything last year. Now that he's had a full season to recover from the injury, come back healthy, new regime, new offense. You know, it his moment to shine a little bit to see if possibly, we want to, keep him around, or if he shine enough, somebody else may come calling, and they trade him, get a little something back for him. Well, what you think?
Well, let me pull up the thing here. Okay. So they said the former Ole Miss quarterback figures to get the bulk of the snaps in preseason. So that will give the 2022 third round a chance to showcase his skills for the Panthers and every other team following what amounted to a redshirt season. So he went down with a season ending Lance Frank injury. Said a strong summer could make Corral attractive to a QB needy team, but there's no
Mhm.
reason for Scott Fitter to give away a QB he traded up for who has 3 years left on his rookie deal. Okay.
That part right there.
Yeah.
That part right there. Go ahead.
So now, in my mind, and I even put out a short on this, and I put Scott Fitterer holding the fishing pole, with Matt Corral as the hook. I mean, I'm
Too
sorry, as
damn
the bait
funny.
on the end of the hook. So, and I think that was just me trying to have some fun with it. But honestly, I don't think Matt Corral is going anywhere.
Oh no,
And like
you
they
was having
said,
more than just fun.
oh, I was, man. Let me tell you, I've been having so much fun with them shorts lately. That's why I have. But I
Yeah.
don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think he's going anywhere. And like you said, they traded up to get Matt Corral last
Yeah.
year. Okay, so
Yes, they
that's
did.
value that they didn't get to use elsewhere. So that's one reason to keep him. All right. Two, he never got a fair shot to showcase what he potentially could do at all last year. Well, a little bit, but there really wasn't enough tape on him. Okay.
Right.
And then
Right.
three, the NFL has a new rule this year for the what is it, the emergency quarterback. So the Panthers can keep a third quarterback and not count against the game day roster. Okay.
Right. The
So
53 man roster.
you got your 53-man roster, and then you got your emergency quarterback who doesn't count against that 53-man roster. But if let me see, Bryce Young and Andy Dalton would have to both go out with injuries for Corral to be eligible to come in and play. Now, if either Bryce Young
Right.
or Andy Dalton comes back in the game, Corral has to immediately go back to the bench. To
Okay.
emergency. Like he literally be an emergency quarterback. So
Right.
that could be for me, that's the reason why I think he's probably not going anywhere because the Panthers, we keep two cute. Yeah, excuse me. We keep two QBs. Um, we had four at the start of last year. We had Corral, PJ Walker, Sam Darnold, and Baker Mayfield. Because
Right.
then the whole thing was, where's PJ Walker going to go? They was talking about trading him. Then Sam Darnold got hurt. Then Matt Corral got hurt. So there's PJ Walker right back up there, the second at number 2 quarterback spot.
Yeah.
So but yeah, but with that new rule, I mean, un, uh, you got to see what kind of value. I'm not going to rule out him being traded because Scott Fitter always says he is in on every deal, and I'm sure that this is a thought that's probably crossed his mind. But if they don't get any real value for him or something that they but believe is worth it, then hey, he's probably going to be in Carolina. What
Yeah.
you think, Tony?
Yeah. Huh?
What you think?
Yeah. I'm on the mindset for that very reason that you read in the article was the fact that Carolina traded up last year to draft Matt Corral, but then at the same time, that was the old regime that traded up for Matt Corral. That was Bob McAdoo's doing. He really wanted Matt Corral. Well, none of those guys that was involved in making that pick last year are with the Panthers this year. So it's going to be imperative for him to show the new regime his value. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like I'm a valuable piece that you need to keep around. Okay? Not someone that you want to trade. Now, his value is I think last year he signed a 4-year contract totaling $1.1 million.
Mhm.
As a third round pick. I mean, that's great value for a quarterback.
Yeah.
Especially a quarterback of his caliber. Like I said, unfortunately, injuries derailed him from showing what he can do last year. So hopefully he has the opportunity to do that this preseason.
Yeah.
And I hope and pray that this turns out better than what it did last year. Because I don't think they did him any favors put him behind the third and fourth string offensive line and
Man, I
expecting
was
him
about
to
to
go
say,
out there and produce.
yeah. But you know what though? You took the thought right out of my head, because that line that he was running with last year was garbage juice trash. I mean, they didn't
Yeah.
do anything for him. They spent more time turning around watching the opponents go hit Matt Corral than they did protecting him. And you know, if okay, they've made this observation about Bryce Young. They say he's a mental savant. Okay, so
Right.
if he is picking up the offense and he is able to process and he's turning that into what they want to see out of him, stuff that we haven't seen per se yet. Okay, he
Right.
goes out in practice, he keeps doing that. Preseason games, okay, he goes out there for a series or two, and he whatever checklist that the Panthers coaching staff have, if he goes out there and they start checking off and he starts doing everything they want him to do, and they, you know what, get his ass out the game. Okay.
Right.
I can see this. Go ahead and give Matt Corral the bulk of the snaps. Now, what I don't want to have happen is Bryce Young gets shorted any kind of time that he needs to develop, because he's still, I mean, hell, they're both rookies. If you know, think about it.
Right. Right.
Like you said,
No. Yeah.
Corral this last year basically added up to a red shirt season. He
Pretty
played
much.
a few series in the game and gone. Okay.
Yeah.
But now Robert Miller, I want to get to his comment here. He says, what if he's a really good QB, like 49ers situation? I'm assuming you mean like Brock Purdy. Let me know if I'm wrong. I don't know if you mean if he's good and maybe we trade him to the 49ers, who, kind of QB needy right now. But if he turns out to be a good QB and he's called upon and he works out for us, hey, so
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it would take a lot for him to end up a number one quarterback for the Panthers.
injuries to the
Like,
top two, that would be
yeah, exactly. Like
hmm
something would really have to happen to Bryce Young and Andy Dalton for Matt
hmm
Corral to really step up and get that shot.
yeah.
So, but you also have to look at it too from the player's point of view. When you someone like Matt Corral from California, if I'm not mistaken, he was either 4 star or 5 star, 5 star quarterback coming out of high school. I believe 4 star.
hmm
Correct me if I'm wrong if anybody knows. But 2 year starter at Ole Miss. You know, played in a bunch of games, played in the SEC. I mean, had a pretty damn good career at Ole Miss. With when you look at the weapons and everything that he had around him. So
hmm
I I think the one thing that he got going for him this year, being with Carolina, that you probably going to see in this preseason is that connection that he has with Jonathan Mingo, his old
hmm
teammate from Ole Miss.
yeah.
Okay. But Matt Corral was his quarterback uh the year before last at at,
hmm
uh, at Ole Miss when Mingo first came into Ole Miss. So I think he was like he was a freshman or a sophomore, one of the two. But yeah, they had that connection back then. I'm just wanting to see, is that connection still, are they going to hit on that connection in the preseason? Because I'm pretty sure Jonathan Mingo is going to get a lot of snaps right
Oh
along
yeah.
with Matt Corral.
hmm exactly. Because my thing is this. um how many snaps does Andy Dalton really need? You know what I mean?
Not a whole lot, not
Yeah,
a whole
you think
lot.
he probably gonna get in the game for a little bit and be gone. So,
Yeah,
you get your rookie quarterback, your number one overall pick, and then, you get your third round pick from last year, getting in the
yeah,
bulk of the snaps. But, like I said, I have no issue with Corral getting the bulk of the snaps because I think that the Panthers really, really already know what they have in Bryce Young. Okay.
yeah.
I
No
think
doubt, no
they've
doubt.
seen enough, and I think they got a good, understanding, a good feel for what he's going to do. And like you said, new regime, new coaching staff. The only people that are still here are Fitterer and Camping, and I think the special teams coordinator. Everybody else is new. Okay.
Right.
So you the new offensive coaching staff, they're going to have to see what they got in them. So you never know.
Yes.
I wouldn't take trading him as being completely off the table, but I really don't think it's going to happen though.
No, I don't think it happened either. But yeah,
Mhm.
Robert, you are right. There are three really good quarterbacks by accident, and Bryce ain't Lance though. No hell he ain't. He sure ain't. Ain't no need of you hoping. We can
Nah,
go
he
ahead and
ain't.
sign, seal, and deliver on that one, player. That he is not a Trey Lance by a
Mm-mm.
long shot. But yeah, man, I just want to see him. I just want to see him get a fair opportunity and take advantage of this situation that he's going to be presented in the preseason and make the most of it. And the
Mm.
chips are going to fall where they're going to fall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But hopefully, I'm hoping that he sticks with Carolina because you can never have enough good players, especially at the quarterback position.
This is true.
All
This is
right.
very true.
All right. So we're going to move on to the last subject of the day. And this is in CJ's wheelhouse. So I'm going to let CJ take this one over right here because I don't really know too much about this. I don't even play the game like that. So I'm gonna let CJ run with this one. Go ahead, cuz.
All right, this is just something I just want to have a little fun with. So, as everybody knows, the Madden 24 ratings have been released this past week. I think day by day, and there's just a couple that I kind of like. So let me bring that up real quick.
Just a couple.
Just a couple, okay. So now I got these images. Shout out Panthers Insider. I borrowed these images from them, so big shout out to them. Um, Brian Burns. Okay, they got him at an 87, and I think that's fair, but I also think that there might have been a room for him to slide up a little bit, maybe at least been a 90. You know, but that's up for debate. Okay.
Okay.
There's another one. JC Horn, at 83. At 83,
Hmm.
folks. Okay. Um, in the ratings, he is like the 23rd best cornerback in Madden. Okay. Now, for those of y'all who have kept up with our channel, we did an agree or disagree a while back about whether we thought JC Horn was a shutdown corner or not. And I disagree, and I presented my facts, and everybody talked junk about me, to me. I'm sorry, not about, but to me, and
Got
I
that
took it.
work.
It was cool, and I tried to say, he wasn't there yet. I do believe that he's going to be. I sooner rather than later. But in 83, you
Yeah.
mean to tell me that they think there are 22 cornerbacks in the league better than JC Horn? I call bull on that one. I'm sorry. And
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and,
They
and
can miss.
JC
They
Horn,
can miss me with that.
yeah, JC Horn called bull on that too. He was like, he said at EA Sports, he was like, nah, man, nah, for real. He said, but
The
it's all right though. He
disrespect is
said
real.
he said he's still gonna play it though. He said he's still gonna play it. But yeah, he's one. Frankie Louvu is another one. 79. I'm sorry. Season he had last year, I think he should be a little higher than the 79. Up in the
Pro Bowl season.
Yeah, he
let's
was a
be all
Pro
the way
Bowl
clear.
snub. Yeah, I
Yes,
think he should be somewhere closer to probably like the mid-80s. But like that's
I can agree with
just
that.
my opinion, folks. Just my opinion. Okay, but I think the most egregious of all of these, of them all, is
He's not even on
this
there,
man,
is it?
this man right here. All right, I don't know if y'all can see my cursor, but the big guy in the middle, okay, Bradley Bozeman, a 72, a 72. That
Man,
man
listen.
changed our entire offense last year.
Yes, he
The
did.
entire offense, and you want to rate Bradley Bozeman a 72? Why? Like, come on, y'all.
Did they say
I,
he was like the 17th best center in the league? Like
yeah,
dude,
yeah, nah, they,
show me six. You got to show me 16,
yeah,
16
yes,
centers that was better than Bradley Bozeman last year, and I'm still
yes.
waiting.
If somebody in the chat can name me 16, 15 to 16 centers better than Bradley Bozeman, please let me know. I mean, now I know they play two different positions, but I mean, the fact that his rating, his overall rating is one less than CJ Henderson just bothers me altogether.
Right? I didn't even
Everybody,
think about that. I didn't
hey,
even look at that.
oh,
What?
hold on. Who is this? Who? Well, I'll be dang. There go my boy Dan. You're talking about some ratings legit. Hail to the I guess I don't know if I can say that name anymore. They are the Washington
Shame,
Sergeants now.
shame, shame on you, Daniel, for coming in with HTTR and knowing that don't even exist anymore. Shame on you. I'm gonna let all the Commander fans that I know that we got Daniel Locklear out here with HTTR. The
Hey,
disrespect.
well look, I ain't call them the commanders. They the privates, the sergeants, the maybe call them the volunteers. They ain't commanding nothing. And, I'm
The
sorry.
battalion.
Yeah, the battalion. He said they'll always be the Redskins player.
I feel you. I feel
Yeah,
you.
man.
I'm
It,
just pulling your leg, dog.
it's wild.
Listen. I'm always correcting myself, and I say Redskins. I'm be like, oh, I mean Commanders.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm not gonna lie. I like it. I like the Commanders better than I did the football team. I'm so happy they're not the football team anymore. He said Magic said the name is getting changed. Well, they got a rule where they said you have to wait 5 years before you can rebrand the team, but there
right,
is one exemption for new ownership. But y'all new owner did say that changing the team name was like at the bottom of his priority list. He was working on changing the culture and changing everything
right,
else around there.
right.
So, but yeah, because I don't know if I've seen a single Commander fan that is happy with the name Commanders. And me and Daniel went back and forth for a while because I was like, I told him they ought to be the Washington Armada. And he called me every name but a
What?
child of God for trying to name them the Washington Armada. But hey, I thought that was better than the Commanders. You know
What?
what I mean? So hey,
What the hell is what is a armada?
I just Armada, all the troops coming in,
The,
your forces. You know what I mean?
man, that's a damn Nissan Jeep. The Nissan. I'm
Oh
sorry.
god. Okay. Well, I tried. Ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry.
Oh my
It's
god.
a large Navy fleet.
The yo. Okay.
That look, that'd have been perfect too. They right there that far from the water. You got the Armada coming in off the Atlantic. Ready to
I
wreck
mean, yeah,
shop on the rest
right.
of the NFL. Hey,
I mean, yeah. Okay. I
I thought it would have worked, but yeah. See, I was thinking Nissan as well.
yes.
Okay,
Oh
well,
my
hey,
god.
my boy
Oh
Daniel,
no.
our close friend, we call him Mace. So, Mace, Hey, I stand corrected. My bad, homie. My bad. Armada seems to be a bad name.
Yeah,
But
don't do them like that. Don't do them like
but
that,
yeah,
Cuz.
man. But yeah, but going back to the Madden ratings though, I do think Bradley Bozeman's rating is a little low. You know, I really
Yeah,
do.
no doubt.
I,
No
and I
doubt.
ain't gonna lie, I haven't played Madden um like consistently played it like week by week since like Madden 15. I'm not even gonna
Mhm.
lie. Because it got to a point where they were making improvements each year, and it was getting better and better and better. They were introducing new things, but to me, it's just been stagnant for years. It's just like it's the next Madden, and
Right,
what
right.
what other stuff have they added to it? And to me, I was just like, it wasn't really worth buying. But hey, I think I might try and grab it this year. If for the simple fact, maybe I do some simulations and whatnot, post them on the channel, or maybe I'll put some gameplay up, because I consider myself to be a pretty decent Madden player. I haven't played in a while. I've taken some time to get used to it, but we're used to it again. But yeah. But as far as these Madden ratings though, those were my the ones that I had the most issue with was Brian Burns, J.C. Horn, and Bradley and Frankie Louisville and Bradley Bozeman. But Bradley
Mm.
Bozeman has got to be the most egregious for me.
The
Bradley
the
Bozeman
the
definitely should be higher than the 72. I'm sorry.
the level of disrespect is in,
Mm-hmm.
you can't even put you can't, it's not even measurable, you
Yeah.
know. It's
Mm-hmm.
not even measurable. Like I don't think people really understand the way our offense of line looked week one
Before
through
him.
five, and
Yes.
then week 6 through 17.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a night and day difference when it came to our running game. When
It
you
sure
put
was.
Bradley Bozeman in the middle and Deontay Foreman took over for Christian McCaffrey, it
Mm-hmm.
was like, man,
Yeah.
somebody done messed around and trade in a V6 for a V12. Cause that's how the offensive line was moving last year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's how them
Yeah.
boys were moving last year, man. So that was
Because
totally
Foreman was
totally
getting his yards
disrespect.
in between the tackles. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's what he got a lot of his
yeah.
yard from. It wasn't no bouncing outside. I mean, not to say that he didn't do it, but he put his shoulders down, and he was running behind the Bozeman and the guards. You know what I mean?
And I also got to give a shout out to Brady Christensen. This is someone like it's not that I dislike him because I don't. My only knock on him last year was I felt like he was a little light in the ass. Okay, I thought with
He doesn't like them,
the
folks.
the what?
He doesn't like them, folks. Don't let him lie to you.
No, I love Brady Christensen. I just felt like
No, he doesn't.
in that type of offense last year, where you want to be a true ground and pound team, you
Hmm.
got to have hogs up front, in my opinion, to be a ground and pound team. I think Brady Christensen, I think in this new wide zone offense, that fits his skill set better than the
Mm,
offense that he played in last year. I think he's going to be able to get out and move more. He's going to be pulling a lot more. This wide zone offense calls for a lot of pin and pull action, where you know the play side guard and tackle may crash down and the opposite guard's pulls, stuff like that. I think it fits his athleticism more than the ground and pound that he was forced to play last year. And even in the midst of it all, he still held his own. He only gave up 2 sacks the entire year. I was shocked because I thought it was more than that.
hmm.
But now when I went back and looked at the numbers and saw like he only had like two sacks and 4 penalties all year, I was like, wow,
Hmm. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
So
I was
I
just
gotta
about to
I
say
gotta
that.
give Brady Christensen his due on that. He really showed improved and did a lot better than I thought he was going to do.
Okay. And I was gonna try to hold you to that. I was gonna make sure you said that. You know, he did the damn thing last year. He
Yeah,
he
he
he really
did.
did the damn thing.
He
Yep.
did. But Zavala coming for that spot. You know what I mean? Zavala coming for that
Hey.
spot. And I love the competition. I love the depth of the offensive line, and I love the competition that's going to be created in training camp. Carolina, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, can easily have a solid number one and two offensive line with all the depth and the pieces that they have in store now. I don't think Carolina has had an offensive line like this on paper. I'm gonna say on paper because we haven't seen what they can do in this new
Mm-hmm.
offensive scheme. But as
Yeah.
far as on paper, when you take into consideration the starters from last year and some of the hangovers from last year, and then the pieces
Mm-hmm.
that they added this year,
Yeah.
that way we definitely got some depth at the offensive line, buddy, and it's going to create great friendly competition in training camp, and the best man win.
Mm-hmm. Hey, let me ask you this. When is the
Okay,
last time that we have ever been able to say that we felt like the Panthers had good depth on the offensive line?
2015,
Okay.
2015. I think that was the last year that Carolina had a quote unquote decent offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yep.
2015 season.
Yeah, but it to me it feels good to say that we have a on like you said on paper and with what they did the end of last year, we have a offensive line that we are happy with that we can't wait to see go out there and play this year. But also, we feel like we got people behind them that if something happens, they can come in and the talent level and the production not drop off that much. So
Right.
it's been a minute because I wouldn't even say 2015. Now 2015, I think it kind of just came out of nowhere. We had Khalil, Norwell, Rimmers, what's the blind side name? Orr, and I forgot who
Yeah.
was the other God, who's the other guard? Um crap, I forgot. But
Wasn't it Dale Williams?
it
Did
may
we
have
have
been,
Dale
yeah.
Williams
It may
play the
have
right
been.
guard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think we had Dale Williams then.
it was like in that situation, it was like hell. If one of them went down, it was just like you know what I mean. It was like
Right.
Lord, let us pray. You know, let us bow our heads and pray for whoever step up. But I mean,
Yeah,
they stayed pretty
exactly.
much healthy the whole season, and you know, barring a epic meltdown from Rimmers in the Super Bowl, you know, which it's wild though because he did the same thing to Kansas City when they lost to Tampa Bay because Kansas City
Yes,
probably
he
should have
did.
what three in a row. You know they let that
Yeah.
one go to Tampa Bay, but yeah he did the exact same thing to Kansas City that he did to Carolina in 2015, and it was wild because he had a great year. He had
Yeah.
a great year, and I mean,
Yes, he
damn,
did.
Von Miller, one person ruined his whole life, ruined all our lives that night. Let me tell you. My wife came down the
Yep.
next day, my Panthers jersey was balled up on the floor. I took it off and slung it. I ain't know where it landed at.
Dang.
I
That's
was
how you
mad.
felt?
Let me tell you, I was mad at Rimmers that game, boy. I was hot, hot. Let me tell you, if I'd have saw him in the streets, I promise I'd have ran up on him. Something. I don't care how much height and weight he got on me. He would have the answer for that performance.
Already. I feel you. I feel you. Well, look, cuz we're gonna get on out of here, man. Hey, we appreciate you guys joining in today. I know it's been a couple weeks since we last did this, but we wanted to put one out, again before training camp, let you know
Mhm.
that we will be in training camp as well. And some of the exciting things that we have heading, some of the exciting things that we got planned going into this new year. So CJ, you got anything before we get out of here, cuz?
Now, as always, if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on those notification bells so you know when our videos come out. We appreciate the love and support. We just eclipsed 600 subscribers. All right. So we are on our way to 1,000 subscribers. And hey, like I always say, we appreciate all the love and support. And I thank everybody that subscribed already. Oh,
All
and you know,
right.
I also want to shout out got the NFL kid, B. Amos, Robert Miller, my boy Daniel. They've held it down for us in the chat today. I really
Yeah, yes,
appreciate all
sir.
y'all sticking with us, hanging with the fellas. But yeah, that's it, man. That's all I got.
All right. Well, once again, we thank you all for sticking it out with us today, hanging with us, and we look forward to dropping more content for you. And if you're in Spartanburg, like we said, feel free to chop it up with us. Come and introduce yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a
Hmm.
stranger.
We
And we
ain't
look
hard to
forward
miss.
to right. We look forward to seeing you guys, man. And yeah. Don't forget, let us know what you think about the agree or disagree. Do you think Icky Equano plays this is the second most uh what
Important.
was it? Yeah, second most important position other than QB on the
Hmm.
team. You know, we definitely want to know how you guys feel about that. Do you agree or disagree with that? So okay, but so we looking forward to hearing from you. And until then, Panther Nation, keep pounding.
Indeed.